Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 3rd of November. Just looking at the S&P on the weekly chart here. As you may know, we're looking at wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C here for wave 4. It's an expanded flat. And then we're looking for a move higher. We're looking for 5 waves within this structure here. That could be wave 1 or wave 5. We won't know that until we start to see this move coming down through here, and we'll be able to decipher that situation. But currently we're just looking from this low to this high here for 5 waves. So let's go in and have a look at that on the daily chart here, picking it up from wave 4 here. We're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here. I know wave 3 looks a little bit odd here, but we can get wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2, 3, 4 and 5 within this structure here. That having wave 2 here leaves us with the 38.2% retracement level coming into this space here from the top of wave 3 there. Roughly at 3150 area here. We'll be able to drill in and get that a little bit better there, but 3150 has been roughly our target area for wave C to move down here. So from wave 3 here we're looking at an A and a B and a C here for wave 4. It is possible to have a triangle in this particular structure too, as an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here. As you know, we've been looking at that on our alternative chart here. So with wave 3 here, an A wave here, B wave here, C wave here, D wave here, and an E wave here for this. So that's it's possible looking at it that way as well. But also too, if we're looking at it just as an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4, we're looking down at wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 now, and wave 5 moving here, so one more leg to the downside. I also need to point out too, we just need to be a little bit mindful of it, is that we know we've got 5 waves in this particular structure here. We could also use this as wave 1 here and 2 here, then all of this from wave 2 here, that would make all of this wave 3 down to where wave 5 is here. It's probably not the case, but I do think that we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. Okay, so it's in the backdrop there for that. This triangle pattern here too, it's possible for it to occur in the Nasdaq as well, as an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here, but I don't think that's the case when we look at Microsoft and Amazon and those sort. This is Amazon here just on a tick chart. It works quite nicely as an A and a B and a C wave coming down into this space, so coming much lower here. I won't go into a lot of detail with stock, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that for that. But let's just drill in for the S&P here. So let's go to the 4-hour chart and look at our main count here. So our main count is A, B, and 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here down into the 3150 area for wave C of 4 and ending at that point. As I mentioned, it may be wave C here with a triangle as a D and an E here, and the other alternative here too, I know you don't like to hear these things, but we just need to be mindful of them as a wave 1 here and 2 here, making all of this here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just as the 3rd wave. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. It was something that we'll work through, and it just means that when we do our long trade, we'll just need to be a little bit cautious, and we'll need to know at what point we're wrong and at what point we're right. Okay, but otherwise we'll just follow our main count, and our main count looks a little bit like this. So wave 1 here, 2 here, going down for wave 3 here and wave 4 here for this, and then looking for 5 waves down here. Now I have to say it is a little bit messy going from 4 to 5 here, and it can be counted differently as well. So once again we can chuck a spanner in the works, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here to finish this off. But it also could be counted as part of a corrective pattern. But as a low here, we do have a nice A, B, and 5 waves up here for a C wave, which will take a little bit more care looking at. However, from this low here, we could make one more high here. So this is where we need to be careful. We need to be doubly careful here, because remember that, you know, if we were looking at a triangle pattern here, just copy this here to remind us. If we were looking at the triangle pattern, then this would be the wave C low here. So we just need to leave that there for the moment. But this can all be counted a bit differently here. This could also be counted down here as a B wave down to here. So an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave up to here, and then down from this point here. So it's just something that we just need to work through. And also too, if it's 5 waves up here, and it is the C wave here, well then we'll only move back from this low to this high, back to the 61.8%, and then move up from that point. I don't think that's the go, but if that does occur, then we need to go long on that high. Okay, so just to lock that in at that point, that would be at the point that we'd need to be long at. For that triangle pattern to be in play. So it is a little bit messy in here, and you know, this is why we use the video here to talk about these different counts, because it's a bit trickier to do it on charts on our site. So yeah, but let's dive in a little bit further with this onto the 15-minute chart. So there's a lot of sort of iffy things in here. So we're looking for a rally here yesterday, so we don't need that now, or these here. So as I mentioned, it does count quite nicely up here as an A wave, a B wave, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the C wave. So that's all really quite nice here, right? But as I mentioned, it could be counted up as 5 waves, so 1 and 2 and all of the third wave here, an A and a B and a C finishing right here, and one more move moving up here to make wave 5 there. So we need to be a bit mindful of that. If we're going to go short at this point here, what we need to see is, of course there's going to be a bounce off. This is group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, and this is group 1, so we never got support on group 1 over here. We got the first high above the level here, and if we're going to go long, we would have gone long above that little high here in terms of a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of. This is minor group 1 at 3,300, talking about the trading levels now, and this is subgroup 1 here. So we know that if we get support on top of subgroup 1, we'd need to go long from that point, but it's not the case. And currently we have 3 waves down here, so this would be a 5-wave structure within here. So we do need to see it move down further through here. But even if it moves down here further, then we're lower into group 2 here. We're likely to have an ABC pattern here, and then further down at that point. So just be mindful of that. So if you can't follow the wave count, then you can use this number here, 3272, as the retested resistance to get your short trade in. Then you can add under the 5 here, the 3265, and then expect to bounce off the midpoint, the 50, so that would also need to become the resistance. Our target down here is the 3150 area here. We could also look for other targets in terms of extensions and so on, so we could take that low there and that high there if the market was going to work lower at that point, and that would bring us down to 3171, which this is all of group 2 here, so we'll just call it group 2, and the 72, and here's the most important. I suppose that's where Gann and Elliott meet. 1212 is 144, the square of 144 with Gann, and 72 is obviously half of that 144, so that can play out there. So yeah, okay, so I just want to rehash this here. This move down here is in 5 waves here. We can get 5 waves out of this. Then there's a retracement back here. Then we can look at 5 waves here and a correction. There's only 3 waves here. So we could look at it as a triangle pattern ending in this particular space here. But if that's not the case, then we would need to look, if we get one more high up here, then that would give us 5 waves from the low. So we've either got the triangle pattern sitting from the low here of wave C, and we're going to be moving higher as an A and a B and a C wave, or we need to look at this here as a B wave here with a C wave here and then moving down. Really the short trade, whichever way we look at it, the short trade would come in once we've got group 2 here as the resistance here. Okay, so that's what you're looking for your short trades. You're also looking for 5 waves down here. So let's go in and have a look at that. So there are different ways to count it, and I think it's good that we talk about them, and then we need solutions for all of them. But when I look at all of these different possibilities, I can normally find a way to sort of accommodate them to get our trade moving in further with all of this. So we've got our wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4. Wave 4 could get a bit more complicated as well. So what we're really looking for here for the short trade here is, if you're not already in it, we've got an impulse wave here, wave 2 here. So we can bring this in here now. I'll just double check that in a moment. And wave 5 down into this space here. And then there'll be a little ABC for wave 2 here. So let me just check on this. Okay, that's this is all of wave 1 here, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So we've still got one more move in here for this to occur here, I think. That should come back up to the wave 4, 1 lesser degree. That will come down here. How long's wave 1? That's about right. So we're looking something like this here, and then we'll see a little ABC pattern in here. So I can just borrow this here. So taking all the, I know having all the different counts is like pretty annoying, but it's good to understand them and then like accommodate them, and this is what we're doing here. So we know now that we need to see 5 waves down here before you can short it. And wherever the low is down here, we can also take this and here and look at the 50-60% retracement level here as well. So that's going to bring us in here. It can retest the 3-3 again at this point, but you could adjust that as the low comes into play here. But you can definitely see there's only 1, 2. We're not finished here with this just yet. So this is where the and because we get 5, if we get 5 waves, right? If we get 5 waves down here, then you can look to short it in the box when you get your 50-60% retracement level. Because we got 5 here, that means that we're going to get another 5 over here. So you can build in some here, some under the 80, some under the 72, some under the 65, and then the next level down, of course, is the midpoint here, which is the 50. And then we're down into group 1 here. So group 1, you'll definitely see a bounce off number 3. 3's got about the same strength as number 8. And then you've got 2 here. Once the 2 becomes the retested resistance, then you know that the market's going to be pulled down to the closest largest number, which is the 32 here. So sometimes it's a bit of a rough journey through group 1 here. Most of the time it is. Unless you're in a particular third of structure, and then it'll just slice straight through. But always expect the worst, and that way you can accommodate that. Alrighty, I'll just leave it at that. Waffled on long enough. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.